Because at the end of the day, there's always a white man at the top of a board making decisions for people that don't look like him. To see so many brands scale back because they say there's not a need. You know, I'm still fat and need clothes, so I guess if they want me to walk around naked, I'll do that too. There are not enough diverse people at the top of the food chain making these decisions, and I'm not saying it's all white men's fault. But
no, it is. We are absolutely saying it's all white men's fault. She's joking. It is absolutely white men's fault.
I mean, they're the ones calling the shots, and they always have been, and that's who I like to blame the majority of my problems on.
Have you seen a change in the fashion industry? Obviously, you have been a part of that change. Have you seen a significant change in the availability of plus size fashion?
Oh yeah, ever since 2019, there's been a rapid decline in the plus size industry, not just with the use of models, but brands closing. There's so many brands that have closed or either scaled back their sizes, because part of my work is I'm an inclusivity and diversity consultant. So I've consulted with Pinterest and I've consulted with H&M, which unfortunately H&M scaled back a lot of the progress that we did. Because at the end of the day, there's always a white man at the top of a board making decisions for people that don't look like him. And it's incredibly frustrating to see so many brands scale back because they say there's not a need. But really, it comes down to, why is there not more diversity within your company and within the people making the...
Let me just say this real quick. The fact that she says that they're not making enough plus size clothes, first of all, you got clothes on right now, just being honest. Second, if you look at a global perspective, average woman size is still between about 120 to 140 globally. So that's still a fairly small woman. Now in the US, yes, it goes up to 170. It is a lot higher. I'm not saying I want a slender woman. I don't mind a woman being a little bit thicker, but ma'am, you are definitely outside the normal range of being considered thick or plus size. You are very large, so it's a little bit different. So your clothes possibly got to be custom made for the most part. You can't be mad at a company that's marketing to people in a certain size range. It is what it is. If you want to be an advocate, make the clothes and have people buying from you possibly, but you can't expect these companies to make things because you outside of the average. If I'm outside of the average, I got to be expecting to pay outside of the average prices. It is what it is.
These decisions, because it's not just about, I'm so loud about, I think, body positivity in general and diversity, because that is literally what makes the world a better place. That's when real change starts to happen, when there's actual diverse people in these spaces. So yeah, it's been declining and it's hard to see, but you know, I'm still fat and need clothes. So I guess if they want me to walk around naked, I'll do that too.
We're not against, listen, I'm a huge nude person.
Look, hold on, look at the entitlement. I'm still fat and I need clothes. You realize at one point we made our own clothes? We made our own attire at one point in time. See, this is where entitlement comes in, because even to be fat, it's a privilege to be fat. I don't think a lot of people realize that in a lot of countries. So if you can eat enough calories to get fat, you rich. You technically a wealthy person, but now we in such an entitlement society to where if I'm fat, I still need you to clothe me as if I'm a slender person, which, ma'am, that's still your choice in being big. It just is what it is.
Like, models and visibility is affecting the sales, because, you know, with anything in life, if something's making real money, they're going to keep it around, because green is the only color that truly matters to any of these people. So it is, in your opinion, a direct result of the lack of visibility. That is, so if you go to a website and you see like no models that look like you're not even going to look and see if they have 3X or something like that.
I think that that's a very good point, and I think that is a big part of it. I think that a lot of it has to do with visibility. I mean, even with my work with H&M, I wanted them to have more models in not just different sizes, but different races, different abilities, like really show how diverse folks are and what they look like in their clothing. Because you're right, when you're shopping on a site, you want to see someone that looks like you, or someone that you at least feel like you can identify with, whether you're petite, whether you're hourglass, whether you whatever. I want to see someone that looks like me. And I think that that is a big problem. But I also think that a lot of the problems are internal within these companies. I feel like there are not enough diverse people at the top of the food chain making these decisions. And I'm not saying it's all white men's fault. But
no, it is. We are absolutely saying it's all white men's fault. She's joking. It is absolutely white men's fault.
I mean,
the sad part with Joy Taylor, who you think cutting your checks? Who you think behind the scenes? Who your camera equipment guys, your sound techs? I'm pretty sure some white guys back there, and just try and sit here and say it's all white people. We still gotta make some accountability displays of accountability for ourselves. So to sit right here and say that it's somebody else's fault because you as big as you are, it's crazy. It does not make any sense, and I think we are diving deeper into denial and delusion. Like I said, this woman is extremely large, and to sit right here and try and complain about not having access to clothes when you can make your own, you can lose weight, you don't have to be as big as you are. Enjoy. Don't act like behind the scenes, Joy don't want to be the woman that's sitting in front of her. So she don't even have to play those games and act like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's cool. I wouldn't. Joy, don't even do that, because you bronze as hell right now. You ain't trying to be the redhead, pasty extra large Whopper with cheese. You not trying to be that. So stop playing like as if you advocating for this. You live in America. If you want bigger clothes, go to the places that sell them. You cannot force these companies to sell clothes that's in 3 and 4X's. That's probably more materials for them to possibly use. And honestly, this woman is rare when you think about it. Man, don't get me wrong, we see a lot of big people for sure, but once you get to this size, you are rare. You like a silverback gorilla just in the middle of the street, in the city. It's like, what the hell? I'm not going to see this all the time. I'm still going to see more average looking women. Even if the women are a little heavier, they still going to be pretty much around the same range. This is in a whole nother category.
I mean, but they're the ones calling the shots, and they always have been. And that's who I like to blame the majority of my problems on.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the right track. You're in the right building, sis, for sure. You're not going to get any pushback from me.
It's crazy.
Do you try to destigmatize the word fat?
Yeah, because everybody has eyeballs. I'm fat, but I'm also like hot, and now I'm being a narcissist, funny and charismatic and talented.
It's not narcissistic to talk good about yourself.
I agree,
yeah.
But just
we also throw the word narcissist around way too much. Like everyone is not a narcissist just because they're confident.
That's true.
Well, there are a lot of words that communities have claimed, and done work to drain the toxicity out of. So, do you think that within the plus size community that is a thing?
When I was promoting my first book, it's The Not So Subtle Art of Being a Fat Girl is the title. And I remember doing so much press around the world for it. And people were like, oh, well, why put that in the title? Or even now when I say the word fat, there's a visceral reaction to people. And I find that I'm the one comforting them to make them feel better that they heard me just say it. And for me, it was kind of like, I just wanted to destigmatize it. I just wanted to, that's how I refer to myself, but it's not like the cross that I'm going to die on. You know what I mean? It's just, for me, it was like taking the word that hurt me the most and taking the pain out of it so that I could live my life and I could kind of, spread my wings and not feel like that was hanging over me and that it hurt me.
It's a lot of words you can call yourself if you're a larger person. You could just say I'm a larger person. You could just say I'm a bigger person. I'm a heavier person. I'm a chubbier person. I'm fat. You can say a lot of terms to just categorize yourself. And if I'm a slender guy, I can say I'm thin. I can say I'm slender. I can say I'm skinny. There's so many terms that we can call ourselves for the frame that we fit in. You feel me? It's nothing. The word ain't shaming. It's just categorizing what you are. It's reality at that point.
Yeah. You're taking the power out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's just, I would never feel comfortable calling someone fat
of course,
in an endearing way.
Yeah.
but I would call you I would call you bitch in an endearing way. But if a man said it to me,
For sure.
then it's not the same thing.
Absolutely.
So I think it's completely appropriate for anyone who's referred to as something to drain the toxicity of it and take the power back. What do you think is the biggest issue facing the body positivity movement right now?
That's a good question.
Less cheeseburgers, just being honest.
I don't know, probably the lack of community. I think it's really hard because there's so many angles, I think, in society, in so many ways that we are all, I mean, women in general, we're always pitted to hate each other and rip each other apart, and that's society's doing, right?
No,
but
it's not.
when it's within the body positive community, or I guess like the plus size community, I feel like it's quite hard because we wear our emotions on our shoulders. It's for some people, it is their whole identity and it means a lot to them. And I think that that's very valid. But I think that there is a lack of community, especially in regards to when people lose weight or change their bodies. I think that it's hard for some people. And I think sometimes people take things personally about other people's bodies that they shouldn't, because
like when someone is presenting as body positive while they're heavier and then they lose weight, it's
and maybe they're not honest about it, or maybe they're, if they have a big following or whatever. I've seen that happen a lot because we are
talking about Lizzo just being honest, because Lizzo lost a lot of weight. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these people don't want to be as heavy as they are. They cope with it because sometimes they don't want to put in the work. But I guarantee you, if she started slimming down and she started, being able to see her vagina again, I'm pretty sure she would be slightly happy. I know she probably just accepted, like, I'm heavy, but when it's almost like it becomes a mental disorder too when you get stuck in these places of like extremely or just heaviness in general. You want to always revert back, but once you're there, it's like, man, I can't pull back. I can't get out of it. That's with anybody, even when it comes down to working out. Sometimes I feel like the road is too long of a journey that they do not want to travel on. But it's all a mental game. It's all a mind game. None of this stuff is like, it doesn't have to be you. You can redefine yourself however you want to be. But like I said, once they get to these places, the road just seems, and honestly, a lot of them lose purpose and sight on why they even revert back.
In the age of, there's a lot of health transformations, and it's been happening a lot since COVID. But I've always been an advocate. That's why I created my F Your Beauty Standards movement like over a decade ago, was because I wanted people, like, screw what society thinks of you. Do what you want to do what feels good. And I think that some people sometimes take things a bit too personally and don't kind of focus on their own happiness. And that could be said with anybody, not just within my own community. I just think that people are just so focused on everybody else when they could go to therapy and work through their things and leave me alone. And I've been called, unhealthy and everything on the internet for so long. I had somebody, on social media recently tell me that I would never make it to 30. And my response to them was about 2 seconds. And it said, babe, I'm 39. I'm 39.
You know what's funny? People get so butthurt about comments on the internet. Once you get on the internet, you have to be open to all scrutiny. You got people who are attractive and get scrutinized for just anything. The way how you act, the way how you talk, the way how you carry yourself. It doesn't matter if yours happen to be that you're a fat chick, extremely large chick. That's gonna be the thing that people can poke fun of at very easy. You gotta be okay with. You gotta roll with the punches. It is what it is. People say things about me. I gotta roll with that. I can't sit here and just say, oh man, they're talking about me, I gotta get off the internet. It is what it is, man. I gotta roll with the punches, ma'am. Just because you are a fat chick, that's gonna be the first thing. That's the easiest thing somebody can say to rattle you up. You gotta deal with it.
Oh, I don't look like it. That's embarrassing for you. It's the cheeseburger grease that keeps me youthful. But like, why do you care? Like, it's just so strange.
Well, it's a mean place. It is. You have been in the space for so long. I know, because I've been following you forever. And you do deal with an insane amount of disgusting level hate. And there is a real, I mean, again, obviously all of this is weird because being mean to strangers is an insane habit, but there's a real hatred for people who are plus size, and it's very like visceral.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting to be front facing at all, but to be dealing with that type of, like, someone saying that you're going to die or saying that you don't work out or that you don't take care of yourself or that you're not healthy because you happen to be born in the body that you're in.
Or that I don't care about my kids. Like, or they'll be like, oh, well, you don't love your kids enough to be healthy and to stay around for them. And I always think that that's really strange too, because why would I go through everything I have to do with my body to not be around for them? And I also think that health is not a moral mandate. I always refer to my mom because my mom has been disabled my entire life. My mom would be deemed unhealthy, but that's not something that she can help. Also, some of us have illnesses or birth defects or etc. Some people, are in larger bodies. Some people aren't. It's like, who are we? Like, when did people become the jury, the judge, and the executioner?
We have always been the jury, judge, and executioner. It is what it is. Granted, but people can't control your life. But at the same time, people might make fun of you. I want to backtrack on what Joy literally glorifies being mean to strangers. So it's not just rejecting guys. You have to think about it. Joy is a shark. She's going to cut down her competition. Now, why do you think she look like that? Why do you think she try and carry herself like that? Because she know her competition ain't a fat chick being on the news. It's going to be other chicks that's going to be in the best shape. The guys that she want to get with, it's going to be in the best shape. Now, back to this woman right here. She's saying that people are making comments about her raising her kids. I hate to say this. You are a reflection for your children. And I know everybody who is large isn't the most unhealthy because you're able to, gain weight and probably gain fat. Your body actually functions at a high level because it's able to store fat. So if you were ever to be in a survival situation, your body can eat off of itself. But we cannot sit right here and say that being a larger person doesn't eventually cause health problems. And let's say, okay, devil's advocate. Let's just say being a larger woman like this, let's just say her cholesterol, let's say everything is absolutely fine. If you were in a situation where you had to be rescued, who can put you over their shoulder? Just being honest. How many guys out there can put you over their shoulder? Ma'am, you are larger than just a thicker woman. You feel me? I could pick up a thick chick. You, on the other hand, you are beyond that. I can't carry. You ain't getting saved. You left behind. You probably gonna be to the wayside. It just is what it is. On planes, you can't fit in a normal seat. This woman don't realize that her advocating for this size puts you at a disadvantage in every situation. Vehicle, you could barely get in and out of it. You got to pay extra to be a large person like this. You need to be rich, honestly, if you're going to be this big, because then you can get your shit custom. But if you want to be this and be with everybody else in society, you at a disadvantage. It's your fault. What type of game you trying to play?
Sit up here and say, that's not okay, this is okay. But then, sometimes I feel like I can't blame people because that's what we've been taught as a society, and that's what's been thrown in our face over and over. It's that, and that's part of why I didn't know I had an eating disorder for so long, because my particular eating disorder was always associated with like thin white women. So like, why would I think that I would have that eating disorder? But then that all trickles back to like the lack of education and care within, minority communities and how a system designed.
Don't group us into that.
To keep certain groups oppressed does that. And continues to. So it's just like so deep. And that's probably why I try
Delusion.
to like do it all with a smile on my face, because if I didn't, girl, I would crumble.
Well, this is delusion. She said that she has an eating disorder based on slender white women. I thought if you had an eating disorder, you would probably not eat. I don't understand how you eat to to envy them, I don't know. You only hurting yourself at that point, man. You have to be self-aware to say that I have this problem, and you got to that point because of you and your own mental issues. And then to try and group minority communities into it is crazy as well. Don't add us into that. Granted, do we have a heavier status of women in our community? For sure. But I'm gonna be honest, the ones who are this size, I don't want to hear them saying that people got they foot on their neck for the reason why they got there. No, your parents, your people around you, and yourself is the reason why you get there.
Yeah, I mean it is exhausting. So what do you do to sort of let all that go? Because you have to build a armor just to move through the world.
Everybody do.
Yeah, and I'm very sensitive, so it's tough. I take a lot of breaks from social media. Writing my book has kept me busy for the last 2.5 years, so I was just kind of putting all my energy into that. I have really great friends and a really great team and a really great family and really great kids. And I try to focus on what actually matters and what is in front of me. What can I control that's in front of me? We can't control anything, but I can also control where my happiness goes and where my energy goes. And if it's not benefiting me or fulfilling me in some way, then I will not spend more than 24 hours letting me feel anything other than, hopefully, if it's not happiness, just some kind of peace or harmony. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it right there. That's a sad way to think about it. She needs to feel happy all the time. So the eating makes her feel happy. That is a problem. The world we live in. This is recap session too. This is recap time for the segment that we just listened to. We're not always gonna be happy as human beings. We're not. This life, you have to go through trials and tribulations. See, I think people don't realize that. If we take away all the conveniences in society, you think you're gonna be happy all the time? You're not. This world is about hard work. People always try and wrap up the everybody else is putting this on me to make me think and move like this. No. If you had to go out there and hunt your own food, build your own shelter, get your own clean water supply, that is work. You're not gonna be happy the whole time while you're doing it. You don't have to do that anymore though, because you're in a more advanced society to where it's already done for you. You need to redirect all that happy shit in other places because you're already in a better position than if you didn't have it. So that's why we can't never be satisfied. Everything is always fleeting for us. Happiness is always fleeting. We have to become very self-aware when it comes down to the things that make us happy and the things that we just do to make ourselves happy. And it's okay to be happy, for sure. We got a lot of things that we can put in our face, but we need to find a good balance with it because when you become over compulsive on happiness, you start making decisions that probably won't benefit you for the future. And if you don't have the right set of people around you, possibly a husband, or a significant other on the female side that can help balance you back out, you will be doing things for the wrong reasons, and they will hurt you later on in the future. And it really hit women a lot, because like I said, most of the time women, they grow up, always being told that they pretty, always being pampered, as a society should protect their women. You feel me? I think women do need to be protected, but it comes to a detriment when they cannot be accountable for the actions that they take in their lives. Then they grow up and they don't have no discipline and no accountability because they've been kind of pampered and sheltered their whole life. So when real situations hit, they don't even know how to act. Don't let this woman get caught in a horrible natural disaster or some shit like that, bro. She wouldn't be able to survive. She wouldn't. And then nobody's gonna think about trying to save her, man. This is still a very nature meets nurture situation. She gonna put herself at a disadvantage. See, Joy can try and reinforce this behavior because this is gonna help her out on a marketing level, on a United States level. But when it comes out behind the scenes, she won't be able to survive in serious situations. This is competition. Women compete, men compete against the competitors in the group, in your own gender. Subliminally, we still do, whether we on the workplace, just in life in general, you always compete for some reason. So this woman don't know that she's at a disadvantage, and she would get in. of course, she's still gonna have guys that's gonna want to hit her up and have sex with her the whole nine. But she's still limiting her options by being as heavy as she is. I don't care how many guys that hit her up that want to sleep with her, do things to her. She is still limited on options when it comes to being this big. I do not think that we need to advocate this type of health advocacy to younger kids, younger females, even guys. I don't believe this is still a thing that we should promote and advocate to the younger generation. Yeah, just be heavy, be fat. No, I try and limit my daughter's food intake because she could become a snackaholic. She'll eat some food. I want to eat it. No, you gotta wait. I don't care. You gonna wait. Drink some water. Just chill for a minute. Because sometimes we'll set our kids up for failure. We will set them up just because we want them to feel good. And we have to be cautious about that. We'll set ourselves up because we want to feel good. You got to go through pain sometimes to get to the places where you can feel good. It's okay not to be happy. It's okay. You know, and I think we need to hear people to tell us that, like, hey man, it's okay sometimes not being okay. But we just feel like we got to protect, we got to cover ourselves, or we got to give ourselves something in every situation, man. Just fight through, struggle through it, get through a better support group. You know, you got to have good people around you. But that's why I say it's going to take more than just yourself sometimes. You got to have good influences around you. And you can kind of base, everything bases off of an average. You know, I know we have outliers, you know, but everything is still based off an average on what most people kind of trickle in. So if you can still watch that, pay attention to that, kind of straddle close to that, you're going to be okay. Everybody's going to be accepted. I want to say one more thing too before I finish this rant. I would say we get shamed for being skinny more than being large. I was even more slender dude when I was in school days, 20s. I got shamed for being slender. You will get shamed for being skinny opposed to being big. So this whole fat shaming, you get shamed for being skinny. And that's a fact. If you underweight, people ain't gonna take you serious until you get some weight on you. So all this fat shaming stuff, most people don't even say anything to big people. They'll make fun of a skinny person before a big person all day. Let me get y'all thoughts on this. I'll have this link in the description. Y'all can watch this in its entirety if y'all want to. And make sure y'all like the video, comment on this video, man. Let's talk about it. Let me hear what y'all have to think about this. This is your guy, JayBReacts. Until next time, peace.